Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. David Orman, and welcome to another episode of the Wellness Shot for the week of March 2nd. Going casual today, given the topic, and the topic is exercise and why it is an absolute necessity. I'm specifically choosing that word necessity. You cannot have great health. You cannot have good health without exercise. Yes, there are the rare exceptions, but those are the outliers. They are not the majority. What really hit home with me is years ago, I had taken a trip to Canada to study with one of the most, not one of the most innovative researcher I've ever come across in my life. His last name was Nason, Gaston Nason. And among the many things that he showed was the lymphatic system is the most important part of the immune system. The lymphatic system, think of it as uh, the dustbin of the immune system. When it is flowing like a river, all is right with the world. But when it is stagnant, there will be problems. Not maybe, there will be. It's to what degree, whether it be annoying things like rashes and allergies and things like that, all the way up the spectrum to diseases we don't like to mention, don't like to talk about because they are too severe and debilitating. Conversely, whenever a person has a healthy lymphatic system, there is usually, if not always, the absence of disease of any sort. Additionally, they are usually in good health, in good spirits, and things are working out well for them in life. And I'll explain that toward the end here. So, every other system has a pump: the heart, cardiovascular, lungs, respiratory. You all know that. But the lymphatic system depends on the muscle or muscles. And when there is a lack of movement, there's congestion. When there is movement of the muscle, there is flow. Flow is the word. We want flow. I'm going to say that 5 more times throughout this clip to emphasize that particular point. So, what type of exercise should I do? And there are a million and one theories and a ton of research, and this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And the fact of the matter is they're all right. And I say that because it doesn't necessarily matter what what exercise you're doing as long as you're doing it and as long as you're doing it and there's passion involved. So in other words, I love running. I love doing marathons. I love martial arts. I love going to the gym. Those are things that I would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and do readily, easily, gleefully. Now, if you ask me to do yoga, that's not going to work out real well. Does that make yoga bad? Of course not. If yoga is your thing, fabulous, do it, but consistently do it. So, number one, what's your passion? What are the things that you love to do? What are the movements that you love to do, or ones that you haven't experienced yet? There is have you ever done Tai Chi? Have you ever done Bagua? I have a course on Bagua, which is exceptional. Check it out. Have you ever done a marathon? Have you ever done swimming, et cetera, et cetera? I would create a list and begin to explore those. And somewhere on that list, and it's not going to be mind driven. Yeah, this would be good. Yeah, this would be good. Yes, this would be good. No, they wouldn't. They may be good for other people, but they're not for you. You know what? I would like to. This kind of excites me. That's the one. Pursue it. And it may not be it. I thought I'd love judo. I took 10 classes, hated judo, but at least you know by doing. And somewhere in that mixture, in addition to your passion, your movement, and make sure it elevates the heart at some point and you sweat at some point. Number two, so we want heart elevation, we want sweating. I'm going to call that same thing. Every organ has a particular fluid that's associated with it. Sweat is associated with the heart. Number two, make sure it's something passionate. And number three, in addition to or if it is already incorporated, make sure there are weight-bearing exercises that will help the muscles, that will help the skeletal system, and that will help your overall immunity. What type of, oh, I hate going to the gym, or I don't know what to do when I get to the gym. Let's make it simple. 3 and 5. 3 to 5 sets of 3 to 5 exercises with 3 to 5 minute rest in between, 3 to 5 times a week. Make it even simpler. Grab something that's kind of heavy and put it over your head and then put it back down. Those types of exercises, ones that involve the whole body. So you'll hear terms like military press, which is basically getting it from here and going up, or deadlifting, which is getting it on the ground, keeping your arms straight and just going back. Things that involve the whole body. What you don't want, not that they're bad, they're just a waste of time and a waste of energy. Bicep curls. That's more bodybuilding stuff. I know nothing about that. But 3 to 5 is the key here. So to summarize everything, make sure it's heart driven, make sure it's passionate. Why? You'll do it more often and it will benefit you not only physically, but emotionally and psychologically. It is a phenomenal stress reliever. And if you do any if you do any amount of driving, particularly in Florida, you need a stress reliever. Number two, make sure it is something that elevates the heart rate at some point and also makes you sweat. So I do gardening. That's wonderful, but that doesn't elevate the heart. Uh, I'm going to try track work. I've never done that before. Awesome. You may like it, you may not. It doesn't matter. You began to explore things and you'll find something along the way. And if that thing that you think is it may not be it, it will lead you to something else, which may lead you to the third thing, which is the grand prize that you want. And then make sure that you're consistent with it. So 10 minutes a day, 6 days a week is much more advantageous than, I did it for an hour and a half on Monday and I'm not going to do it for the next 2 weeks. That's almost that's a prescription for injury. And then if make sure it involves weights, 3 to 5, 3 to 5 sets of 3 to 5 repetitions, 3 to 5 minutes in between, 3 to 5 times a week. And if you don't like going to the gym, there are a ton of videos on YouTube that begin to show you or begin to explore body weight exercises or kettlebells or things along those lines. And I had mentioned before, it is getting flow. I mentioned as it related to the lymphatic system is great for keeping the immune system healthy, keeping the spirits healthy also. Flow not only is important for internal, but when the internal is flowing, when things are moving rather nicely, it will be reflected on the in the external world. When you hear yourself saying, or when you hear others saying, I feel stuck, things aren't moving, I'm just not in the groove, guaranteed something internal is also stuck. And when you can move that thing, whatever it may be, internally, it will be reflected in the external world. I don't always have a great explanation as to why. I do know there is a 100% correlation between the two. If you have questions, please let me know. Please like and subscribe this video. It really helps. Plus, it makes me feel good. And I will see you all next week.